to a presentation on Trends in Education, Self-Care. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to explain the different domains of self-care and apply their benefits to the role of an EA. This session will discuss topics related to nutrition, movement, sleep, serenity and peace, forgiveness, gratitude and optimism, and relationships with students, colleagues, and personal. There are 3 domains of self-care, which include physical, emotional, and social. We will begin by discussing physical self-care, which includes nutrition, movement, and sleep. These will be presented in detail on the upcoming slides. We will begin by discussing nutrition's role in self-care. Proper nutrition is part of our physical well-being. Your digestive system and brain are connected. Therefore, when you eat nutritious foods, you fuel your brain to be at its optimal performance. The most nutritious foods for your body and brain include natural foods such as fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Limiting your intake of alcohol and processed foods will have a positive impact on your health, which will result in a more positive experience on the job, as your brain and body will both function better. Next, we will discuss movement. Regular, moderate to vigorous exercise results in improvements to your physical health, mental health, and brain function. The impact on brain function includes improved working memory, short-term memory, and communication between neurons. Exercise provides you with a sense of control, which has positive impacts on your mood. As an EA, there are many opportunities to be active throughout the school day. You can take a movement break with your students or play a game of basketball with students. This helps to build connections with students and get a workout in. You may also decide to sign up for an exercise program with a friend or colleague before or after school to build a consistent exercise routine. The final component of physical health that will be discussed is sleep. Proper sleep is a key piece of an effective self-care routine. Adults should aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Any more or less than that increases inflammation, which results in decreased immune system function. This is due to the regulation of our immune system being linked to our circadian rhythm. As an EA, it is vital to make sleep a priority to benefit the aforementioned areas of your health. You will be exposed to many colds and flus throughout your career, and getting adequate sleep will prevent you from being sick as often. The next category of self-care that we will discuss is emotional well-being, including serenity and peace, forgiveness, and finally, gratitude and optimism. These topics will be discussed in detail on the upcoming slides. Achieving well-being through serenity and peace has a positive impact on your mental health. It is important to understand that it is how we respond to triggers that impact whether we elicit a stress response. Our brain elicits a stress response when situations feel out of control. Therefore, our brain function is impaired. If we have a toolbox of strategies to cope with stress, our brain functions better. Here are some tools to cope with stress. First, say no when you are unable to take on any more responsibilities. Next, take a break when you are feeling stressed and reevaluate the situation when you are calm. Finally, meditate, do breathing exercises, talk to a loved one, or pray to reduce stress. Forgiveness can be difficult, as our brain's reward system is triggered when we hold grudges. However, being able to forgive colleagues, students, administrators, friends, and family members has numerous health benefits, including living a longer life, better sleep, lower alcohol use, and improved overall health. On the contrary, holding grudges can result in obesity, heart disease, insulin resistance, high lipid ratios, excess alcohol consumption and/or smoking, excess triglycerides, and have a negative impact on brain function. As an EA, you may experience anger at a student for telling a lie about you to another staff member, but being able to forgive them will result in better health and positive work days. There are 5 steps in the forgiveness process. The first one is to acknowledge and accept that you have been hurt. Allow yourself to be upset when someone has done something that has impacted you negatively. The second step is to understand that there is no power in holding a grudge. In turn, you are letting the person who hurt you have power over you. The third step is to view the situation from your offender's perspective. Try to understand why they did what they did. The fourth step is to make a choice. In this step, you can choose to hold a grudge or choose to forgive. Forgiveness gives you the power to stop viewing yourself as a victim. The fifth step is to continue a relationship with that person or release them from your life. As an EA, you will have little control about which students or colleagues you work with, so showing empathy and practicing forgiveness is the most effective way to practice emotional self-care. Routinely practicing gratitude and optimism will have a positive impact on your emotional well-being. There are many potential stressors that come with the career of being an EA, and practicing mental self-care is key to preventing those stressors from negatively impacting your health. If you feel discouraged, angry, or depressed for more than a week, it is important that you seek an evaluation from a doctor or counselor. The faster you receive treatment, the more effective it will be. Practicing gratitude and optimism can help prevent negative feelings and be a protective factor for your mental well-being. One strategy for practicing gratitude is to write down 2 things that you are grateful for when you arrive at school, and 1 thing you are grateful for when you leave. These can be things related to your EA role or other aspects of your life. The final domain of well-being that will be discussed in this lecture is social well-being, which includes your relationships with students and colleagues, as well as your personal relationships. These 3 relationships will be discussed in detail on the upcoming slides. Connecting with students is a key piece of social self-care and being an effective EA. We don't always immediately connect with all students. It takes a longer period of time to form relationships with some students than others. However, it is important that you form strong connections with all students, especially at-risk students. The following are some strategies to build strong connections with students. First, you can greet them as they enter the classroom in the morning and discuss their interests and/or their weekend with them. Next, a simple handshake, fist bump, or high five can go a long way in creating a connection. Finally, you can greet a student by name in the hallway. Students often appreciate personal recognition as you have taken the time to learn their names, even if they aren't in your class. Professional relationships with colleagues can be challenging when a conflict arises. In turn, it is important that you discuss any concerns you have directly with the colleague that upset you. This will avoid gossip from occurring and prevent other staff from getting involved in a personal issue between you and another coworker. SEAD 170 discussed the steps that you should take if you are unable to resolve a conflict with a coworker personally. You can build relationships with colleagues by collaborating with other teachers or EAs. You may also decide to do favors for other staff in the school. This can go a long way in building a strong rapport. Problems with personal relationships can negatively impact how you perform your job. If you are experiencing conflict in your personal relationships, there are steps you can take to cope in these situations. First, reflect on why you're angry. Did you have a role to play in the conflict? Is there anything you could have done differently in the situation? Then you can work towards resolving the problem. Next, practice forgiveness and spend time healing any struggling relationships. In turn, you should make time to foster strong relationships in your life with family and friends. Finally, you can use your commute to and from work to practice self-care strategies related to conflict within personal relationships. An effective strategy is to visualize your best self with your students and repeat affirmations during your commute. For example, you may repeat to yourself that you will have a good day and support your students to the best of your ability. You should now be able to explain the different domains of self-care and apply their benefits to the role of an EA. This concludes our presentation on Trends in Education, Self-Care.